Hey, it's Mark Yegi. I hope you're doing really well. Today is an interesting day. So, what happened is that we have an interesting thing going on in the bond market, and our Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said, "Hey, listen, we're going to commit to the Treasury buys, and we're going to actually double the amount of Treasuries we're doing." Interestingly, at the same time, very quietly, we're bailing out the country of Japan from their debacle. And so now we're not just bailing out our own banks and we're not just bailing out the people in our own country, we're bailing out another country, right? That's an issue. Is it? I don't know. It's going to be an issue if it's not yet. Now, Scott Bessent is a pretty smart guy. He used to work for George Soros and all during the period of time where there was that British pound money that was made on the short. He was a big part of that. And so I give him the benefit of the doubt of being a pretty smart guy. So I think what he's doing is probably the right thing because he's trying to save the world, right, by saving the yen. And so if you can shore up the country of Japan, who's made a lot of mistakes in the last 34 years, then you prevent a total collapse because if the Japanese yen collapses, then there are other countries that are just as bad, in other, zones, like the Eurozone is bad. Speaking of the Eurozone, what we did on the 31st of July is we sold euros to shore up the yen. Well, the European Union didn't really like that too much. Not that we called them in advance and not that they're doing us any favors anyway lately. So we dumped euros and basically shored up the Treasury market so that Japan wouldn't sell the US Treasury market, right? You see how it all kind of works together there? And so if Japan doesn't sell the US Treasury market, that doesn't put a big crater underneath the Treasury market. And then now here we are a couple of weeks later, 3 weeks later or whatever, pumping money into the economy by buying bonds. Look, at the end of the day, guys, this is inflation. We're printing money, giving it to another country so they don't sell our treasuries. And then we also buy more of our own treasuries and we give more money to Japan so that they buy our treasuries. You see like it's a robbing Peter to pay Paul thing. But the problem is there's not just Peter and Paul, there's you and me. And you and me are the ones that are footing the bill. Now, if we didn't foot the bill, maybe it would be worse. We would have a total collapse. But all this kicking the can down the road that we've been doing for 34 years with these lousy politicians that we have in government has gotten us to this point. Japan was able to push Abenomics forward, right? Abenomics is basically a Keynesian. John Maynard Keynes is a money printing guy. And they just say, just keep printing money and everything will be fine. Well, yeah, everything's fine. Things don't collapse. The stock market goes up, except not inflation. Inflation is not fine. You and I pay more in goods and services. Your filet mignon has gone up. Your car prices and truck prices have gone up. Housing prices have gone up. They're stabilizing now because there's a supply and demand issue. But it's a big, big problem. All right, let me get to the chart and then I'll let you go. All right, so you can see this is the weekly on the TLT, which is the 20-year bond ETF. Let me zoom out and I will show you how devastating this has been for investors over the last several years, okay? Watch this, okay? Look where it was. It was up here, 170, okay? 169, I think, is the top there. 169 back in, when was that? Here looks like December of 2019, something like that, right? And now we're at half of that, 82, right? And so we've gone, this is supposed to be the safest money in the world. Here, Mr. Investor, put your money into treasuries and we'll give you a nice 2, 3, 4, 5% now interest rate. Meanwhile, you lose 50% of your value. And they go, Bitcoin is very volatile. It's down 50%. 50% is supposed to be the safest money in the world, right? Like, we've got to look beyond the headlines, everybody. And that's what I'm trying to show you here. So you zoomed out, you saw it. Now, let me show you what's going on when you zoom in. This is a weekly candle. This is called a hammer candle, okay? This is a high volume hammer candle. Right now, it's showing for the week a 38% increase in average weekly volume. When I show you the daily, you're going to be like, oh man, there's something going on. All right, but there is a hammer candle. It looks like a hammer that's standing up on the end of it, on the butt of its handle, if you will, right? Looks like this. Okay, look at this hammer candle. It shows the bottom. When there's a high volume hammer candle, and that wasn't a very high volume, it was average volume, you get an increase generally after the hammer candle. I love hammer candles because they kind of tell you what's happening, right? Here's a hammer candle right in here, went up a little bit from there. I mean, I could just keep pointing a bunch out. Here's one right here. All right, so it enveloped the week before it. That's a key part of it. Now, a lot of the times when it's perfect, it happens here at the bottom like it's happening right now. Look at this beauty. This is a textbook hammer candle except for the volume. And look at how much farther it went up, right? It went up quite a bit further, I should say. All right, so that's the weekly. Now watch what happens when I zoom in even more to the dailies, okay? You'll see that this has been a downtrend, like my nephew when he was 3 years old used to say, a stinky poopy head downtrend, right? $90 all the way down to $80, right? That's a big percentage move for the safest asset in the world, right? What they tell us. But look at some of these candles. This four day in a row candle thing that happened back here, right around the Japanese thing was a problem. I mean, that was telling you that there was lower left to go, and it sure did until yesterday and today. Today we had a gap up on volume. The volume right now is 137% of average daily volume. That is not just we think we're down at the bottom. That is a significant reversal. And so what we need for the bond market to do is get up over this 50-day moving average, which is about 84.25. And if it can get over that and continue this volume, you'll see probably a continuation of the momentum. That's how I look at it. Because the bottom line is that the U.S. came in and said, hey, we're going to save the dollar and we're going to save the yen. And what we're going to do is we're going to save the Treasury market by printing more money and buying more Treasuries, right? Taking it out of the left pocket, I'm putting it back in the right pocket. Don't worry, nothing to see here. Notice how the coin is gone. Oh, it's behind your ear. Same thing that is going on. You and I are going to see it in inflation. Inflation is coming. And let me show you one more thing and I'll let you go. The GLD, which is the ETF that tracks gold. Look at this thing today. So it's been, since the 31st, it's been accretive and bullish coming into this, right? So you see on the 31st, right around the beginning of the month of August, we had a gap up on volume, okay? Gap up on volume over the 50. I always say, if you're one of my students, you get tired of me saying, a gap up on volume over the 50. That's a big buying signal. Sure enough, it was here. There's 4 days in a row of, big volume and big gaps up over the 50, right? Now it's right at the 200-day moving average. It's up 3.7% today, okay? And it gapped up today on high volume, and now it's right at the 200-day moving average. To me, this is a critical candle today, but it looks very, very bullish to me. And so I'm watching gold. I think gold is catching a big bid. You can see gold has come down from this $50.97 or $509 all the way down to 363, the GLD, and now it's trying to come back up. Now, you could see it's going to come into this little line that I drew here a few weeks ago, which is kind of a resistance line, kind of where I see it's going to run into some problems. It's right there right now, really close. This is interesting. This is inflation, right? That's what GLD tells us. Supply and demand for an inflationary adjusted asset or an inflation-proof asset. Okay. Now you are an expert in macroeconomics, right? Actually, you have an opinion, I have an opinion, we all have an opinion, and none of us is probably completely right or completely wrong. But the idea is that we study these things and we start to get an idea of what is going on with the trends. We look at enough charts and now we could start to feel that there's a pattern. I feel that there's a bullish pattern in the GLD and a slightly bullish pattern in the TLT, okay, the Treasury. So keep an eye on those two markets. Those are very, very large markets and highly traded in the world. And they are telling us a story right now about what's going on in the macroeconomic world. That should affect your investments. I hope that helped you. Hey, quick announcement. If you haven't heard, we are having an event in Florida at the end of October. It's called the Wealth Accelerator Live event, but it's going to be focused on AI. And AI specifically in your investments. We have a program called the CashFlowIQ. We're going to be using that extensively. You get a course by coming as well. It's on the beach in Clearwater Beach, Florida at the end of October, the 30th through the 1st of November. So a nice long weekend. We get to know each other. Bring your laptop because it's a workshop. There's early bird pricing right now. If you want to know more about it, go to cashflowmachine.net, okay, /events, all lowercase, /events. And you'll find out all about it. If you want to join us, I'd love to meet you there. It's going to be a pretty small group. I don't want to have a huge group. I like it small because we're going to be working on your trading plan for the end of the year and maybe for the rest of your life. And we're going to be also talking about the hot stocks, a lot of chart reading, a lot of covered call discussions, and then, of course, AI-assisted implementation of that. So listen, thanks for being here. Hope that helped, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. The information you just heard is for education and information. This is not financial advice.